King Louis XVI of France was executed on January 21, 1793, during the French Revolution. After years of political turmoil, economic crisis, and widespread resentment toward the monarchy, he was put on trial by the National Convention for high treason and found guilty. He was sentenced to death by guillotine. On the day of his execution, Louis was calm and dignified, reportedly trying to address the crowd before being silenced by drum rolls. The execution took place at Place de la Révolution in Paris, now Place de la Concorde. His death marked the end of absolute monarchy in France and a turning point in the revolution, leading to the rise of radical republicanism and the Reign of Terror. Caligula, the Roman emperor from 37 to 41 AD, was assassinated on January 24, 41 AD, at the age of 28. His increasingly erratic behavior, cruelty, and perceived madness alienated the Roman Senate, the nobility, and even his own guards. A group of conspirators, including officers of the Praetorian Guard led by Cassius Chaerea, ambushed Caligula in a palace corridor after a series of public games. He was stabbed multiple times and killed on the spot. His wife, Caesonia, and their young daughter were also murdered shortly after. Caligula's assassination marked the end of his short, chaotic reign and led to the unexpected rise of his uncle, Claudius, as the next emperor. Vlad the Impaler, also known as Vlad III Dracula, died in late 1476 or early 1477, but the exact circumstances of his death remain unclear. The most widely accepted account is that he was killed in battle against the Ottomans near Bucharest while trying to reclaim and defend his throne in Wallachia. Some sources suggest he may have been betrayed by his own men or mistakenly killed by his allies during the chaos of combat. After his death, his head was reportedly sent to Sultan Mehmed II in Constantinople as proof, where it was displayed on a stake. Vlad's body was never definitively found, but legend claims he was buried at Snagov Monastery, though this has never been confirmed. His violent end added to the myth and fear surrounding his legacy. William Wallace, the Scottish freedom fighter and hero of the Wars of Scottish Independence, was captured in August 1305 and executed on August 23, 1305 in London by the English. After being betrayed and handed over to King Edward I, Wallace was put on trial for treason, though he famously declared he could not be a traitor to a king he never swore loyalty to. He was found guilty and subjected to a brutal execution meant to serve as a warning. Wallace was hanged, drawn, and quartered, a punishment reserved for traitors. He was hanged, but cut down alive, disemboweled, and beheaded. His body was cut into 4 parts, which were sent to different parts of England and Scotland as a deterrent to rebellion. His head was placed on a spike on London Bridge. His death was cruel and symbolic, but his legacy as a symbol of Scottish independence and resistance lived on for centuries. Edward II of England died under mysterious and brutal circumstances on September 21, 1327, after being forced to abdicate the throne in favor of his son, Edward III. After a troubled reign marked by military failures, notably at the Battle of Bannockburn, favoritism toward unpopular courtiers, and growing opposition from the nobility, Edward was deposed in January 1327. His wife, Queen Isabella, and her lover, Roger Mortimer, led the rebellion that overthrew him. Edward was imprisoned at Berkeley Castle in Gloucestershire. There, under suspicious conditions, he was allegedly murdered. The most infamous account claims he was killed by having a red-hot iron rod inserted into his body, a story that may have been propaganda meant to shock and discredit. Other theories suggest he may have died from neglect, natural causes, or possibly even escaped and lived in exile. Despite the uncertainty, his death marked the end of a reign considered weak and divisive, and it allowed Mortimer and Isabella to rule through their young son, until Edward III took power and had Mortimer executed. Nikephoros I, Byzantine emperor from 802 to 811, died on July 26, 811 during the Battle of Pliska against the Bulgarian Khan Krum. During the campaign, Nikephoros led a large army into Bulgarian territory, initially achieving some success. However, Krum ambushed the Byzantine forces in a narrow mountain pass. The Byzantines were trapped and slaughtered. Nikephoros himself was killed in battle, and his body was captured by the Bulgarians. In a gruesome display, Krum reportedly had Nikephoros' skull cleaned, lined with silver, and used it as a drinking cup, a chilling symbol of the emperor's defeat and humiliation.